How are
Oh,
you
good.
doing so far today?
Excellent. All right,
Good.
been to the office, been back, decided maybe I should make the bed, things like that.
Good. People want to see how you live too. It's okay to leave it maybe a
It's
little
actually
rough.
funny. I actually am the person who usually does make it, so it's more me. That control freak kind of guy.
100%. Yes, totally.
Yeah.
I am also a make. I think you're
Yeah.
one or the other. I'm a make the bed every day person. And
Yeah,
some
me
people
too.
don't believe in it. They think if you're just going to sleep in it again afterwards, why would you?
No, 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 no. That's wrong.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the next WL Wednesday. I am super excited to be joined today by Mitchell Freedland of Mitchell Freedland Design. He is a past Designer of the Year winner. We're a big fan of his at Western Living, so I'm very excited to have him joining us today. Welcome, Mitchell.
Hello, great to
Oh,
be here. I know,
yeah.
beautiful fall day too.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's sunny here right now. I think we're expecting rain for the rest of the week, as usual.
Yeah, but
But
today's great, so I'm happy I get to take you outside for 2 minutes and at least show a little bit of the terrace, so that's all right.
amazing. Yes, for sure. Yeah, it's a gorgeous day. So tell me a little bit about how you've been doing. What have you been up to these last 100 years or so of
Well, it's
COVID?
been crazy, like it absolutely has for everybody.
Yeah.
But knock on wood, work is good. Everybody's busy, so no complaints there. But I guess the story was, I went down because we're building a place in Mexico, and I was only supposed to go for 6 days. That turned into about 2.5 months. So
Wow.
everything went crazy right at the moment when I got there. So I was
Yeah.
making that decision: do I stay or go? And so I stayed.
That's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
Gail Guevara, that happened to her as well. We chatted with her when she was down in
it was in
San
New
Francisco.
Zealand, wasn't it? Or no,
San
was it California?
Francisco. Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
California.
Yeah,
I was just debating if it
yeah,
was San Francisco or San Diego, and I think it was San Francisco. So
yeah.
two
I
and a
think you're
half
right.
months. Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, well, the good lesson that came from it is it proved to me I could actually work remotely, which is nice because we've got this place that we're building there, which definitely want to share with you when it's done.
Yes,
But
please. Yeah.
the notion is to spend more time, there and enjoying a little bit more life, and so I can work remotely. The
Yeah.
team was awesome, and it was a good lesson. So I'm confident because now I'm going back, with God willing, in December for
Okay.
another couple of months, and we'll see if working remote works or not. If not, I come home.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
sorry, was this a renovation or a new build?
it's a new build.
Okay. And
Yeah,
where
it's
in
with friends of
Mexico?
ours. Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry, pardon me.
no, no, whereabouts in Mexico?
Oh, it's in a place called Ajijic, and it's basically south of Guadalajara.
Okay.
Oops,
Oh, looks like we have a little
I've lost
pause.
you. Oh,
Okay.
there we go.
There, we're back again. Okay.
There. Oh,
That's the
and
joys
fade to
of
black.
tech. Yeah. And always, that's
Indeed.
2020.
Yeah, we get used to it. Anyways, yeah,
Yeah.
so it's south of Guadalajara. It was basically a weekend place for people in Guadalajara to go. Lots of expats have been building and living there. And so we've joined it with friends of ours who've been there for quite a while. So we wouldn't probably be doing it without them because they've been our guiding hands. So it's
Okay.
been kind of fairly easy for us, to say the least. It hasn't been
Yeah.
challenging because they know what they're doing.
Oh, wonderful. Did you pick up
Yeah.
any new recipes while you were down there? Have you been translating that to eating back here?
Doing a lot of that, and the food in places like Guadalajara and Mexico City are so fabulous. So lots of great places, more eating out than cooking, but that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Support local economy wherever you are.
For sure. Yes. So I wonder, let's talk a little bit about design before we go
Sure.
into a big tour. So tell me right now what you're seeing from your clients. What is, I think as a design team are known for a broad range of styles with
Yeah.
probably a leaning towards modern, but certainly traditional,
Yeah.
transitional, contemporary, all of it.
Absolutely everything.
Yeah. And so are you seeing any particular asks right now? What do you sort of see from your clients going through this time?
Well, I think, and a lot of people have been saying that, they're spending more time at home. So people are sort of, reevaluating things within their houses. But I have to say that, slight pat on the back for the team. But, we haven't been getting a lot of calls. We've got clients that are happy because we've tried to think through a lot of things in their homes. So most of the work is all new, which is great. And there's been very little tinkering, if any, with the homes we've done, which feels like a lovely compliment. So I'm going to go
Yeah,
with that.
absolutely. Timeless design.
Yeah.
So, and what about when you're talking with clients then, what do you get them to think about so that something is timeless? What is something people don't necessarily always remember?
Well, I think I'm always afraid when people ask about what's the hot color or what's the new trends, because it's the question I hate the most. So we try to
Sure.
avoid that instantly.
Yes.
And then it's always just trying to find out who they really are. I always think that's the real joy. They'll usually come to us because they've seen a job and they, oh, we love so and so's house. It's like, that's great, but now let's see what we're going to do for you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the adventure. So we do a lot of questions. We do a lot of sessions with them to find out, what do you do from morning till night? Like, what is your routine? How do you live? How do you entertain? And then what is it you hate about where you live now or where you've lived in the past where things just didn't work? So we try to fix all of those little things.
Yeah.
And I always say to people, it's like, we can make anything look beautiful, but we want to make it practical for you. We want the little touches that you open your drawers and they're organized and there's things where you want them. And the closet is done the way it works for the way that you live. And those kinds of little details.
Yeah.
And then, everything else is, just aesthetic is, we try to find what their personal beauty is and try to express that in their home. Ultimately, we want it comfortable. We always like the feeling like, I don't know what it is, but I just want to be here. And like, that's the biggest compliment.
Yeah, wonderful. And speaking of wanting to be here, I'm very much enjoying your Zoom background right now. You are
Yes.
you are at home right now. You're in your own space. Tell us a little bit about where you are.
All right, now home office, it's basically a little alcove of a den. It was a condominium building that we actually worked on many, many years ago. And the developer allowed us to pick a floor plan. So I picked the one floor plan that nobody wanted because I figured A, I could probably maybe afford it, and B, I love a challenge. So it was an unusual plan because it didn't repeat in the building. And so it's kind of nestled off the lobby and it has a funny little alcove, which I'm in, and you can sort of see little bits and pieces, but I'll flip the screen when we walk around.
Okay.
And so oops, we went black again. There we go.
We're back. Okay.
And so, it became the office opportunity. And I got a weakness for books. So there are books everywhere. And same at the office, there's books everywhere. That's just my sort of guilty pleasure, but I'll never change. I love it. So
Me too. Yeah,
I think most designers are the same.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like too that you've got, it looks like you've got some art within, like some framed art within your bookshelf. Is that right? Or is that actually
yeah.
peekaboo?
There's just pieces. Yep. There's like Carla Tack behind me, a little piece, lovely piece because I love Carla. Great little piece. Another piece behind me, which is full of reflection by an artist from Atlanta called Melinda Schwall. She does beautiful watercolor and paper manipulation, but I can see if I can show you a little bit better, but we got lots of daylight reflecting on it right now.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Now, is there shelving behind it or do you have it built right into the shelf? How do you put that in there?
Basically, both of them are just hung on wires, and seriously, there's either a little tack on the shelf or I'll pull out a book and just stick it on the edge of a book.
Huh, yeah, that's
I've
great.
got very few walls here, and I've got another bad passion about collecting art. So
okay.
As we do the walkthrough, you'll see the solutions of how I dealt with no walls, but places to find art. That's one of them.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's not something I would have thought to do, but it's a great idea.
Yeah, just pull out a book and throw it on a wire. It's easy, as long as the book is stable.
Okay. Okay, well, why don't we take a tour through the rest of the space too? I know you're going to walk us around. Yeah.
Alrighty, we'll do the flip of the screen.
Okay.
Lovely. So there we go. And let the tour begin. You know what? Why don't I walk outside because the door's open and I can just take a quick look out and show you the terrace.
Great.
But as I said, this was the reason that we wanted the place because we wanted a big outdoor area.
Yeah.
So it kind of stretches from one end to the other. There's like a barbecue tucked in the corner, which is discreet. We put out the big maple tree. It's going to be pot bound someday, and then if we walk over, then it's basically view to the park, and I'll just tap it to see. Oops, sorry. Just wanted to see if I could get a focus to the water, but it's not correcting it.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, and so you lovely outdoor entertaining. We use it all the time. Such a fabulous spot.
Totally.
Great.
And so you're fairly close to Stanley Park there. Is that what you're
it's actually Coal Harbour. That's like one Harbour Green, 2 Harbour Green, and then we're basically nestled on a park right there.
Got it. Okay. Lovely.
Yeah, super convenient location. So totally loving it.
Yeah.
But now we're back in. There's the alcove.
Okay.
So it gives a much better idea. So there we can see the bookshelves. There's lighting in the shelf, which I haven't turned on, but I can at least do that. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
Nice.
running out of space already. And then there's also just file drawers below just for storage. And then you can
Beautiful.
see the art hung. And then there's another really big piece, although the light's a bit intense on it. It's a Vancouver artist, Ping Lu, that Sean and I bought years ago. Sean's my husband, for those who
Okay.
don't know.
Yeah.
And also fabulous sculpture by an artist named Dean O'Leary from North Carolina. It was the sort of the guilty pleasure of First Dibs.
Yeah. Oh,
Same with,
lovely. And
and
that's
the
a
same with the,
gorgeous desk too.
yeah, it was a vintage piece. It's 1970s by a designer named Guy Lefebvre for Maison Jansen. And it was just before Maison Jansen sort of folded. It was their sort of foray into modernism. So it didn't take, but they did last some little creations like this. So another guilty pleasure from First Dibs.
Yeah. Amazing. What is
So
the
yeah,
surface made of? What is it actually?
it's actually a leather top, and then you can just sort of see it's stainless
Oh,
details and
okay.
then high gloss black lacquer. And
Yeah.
it's kind of got sort of more of like sort of a Chinese kind of motif on the base.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so that's the den, and then we can flip
Okay.
around, and then that shows the living space. So it's basically open living, kitchen, dining room.
Yeah.
And as I talked about not having walls, this is how we deal with artwork when you don't have walls.
Huh.
So we basically put everything on cables and hung them in front of the draperies.
Okay. And I love the curved sectional too. Was that a custom piece or?
Yeah, it was a custom piece that we did. It was
Okay.
kind of a riff on several styles, and then it's just put into pieces to be able to get into the space. But it's a pretty simple modern piece. It's nothing overstyled.
Yeah.
And then coffee table was also a custom piece that we did locally. And then just marble top, bronze glass, and just some satin brass. Other
Beautiful.
favorites I have were actually the armchairs, which were vintage Harvey Prober chairs. And I'd seen them when I was at Southlands at their visitor center in Palm Springs, and I fell in love with them. So a little bit of sleuthing on the internet and found a dealer that had them. So we bought
Ah,
them and recovered them.
amazing. And is that an area rug or is that inlaid tile that's underneath?
It's actually a Kyle Bunting hide rug, so it's just sitting on top of the floor. And
Huh.
it's just super low profile, so there's very little tripping, and it's just, beautiful carved pardon me, cowhide.
Yeah. Wow, is that ever gorgeous? I mean, in the camera, it looks like tile, but it's, yeah, you can
Yes,
see the
I
detail
can
on
sort
it.
of show the detail, but yeah,
Yeah.
his carpets are pretty phenomenal. Some of the wild colors are amazing, but we went pretty neutral here just to sort of pick up on the tones of the marble.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
And I
beautiful.
guess then the other piece we added was the fireplace, which was one of the things we wanted when we renovated. So there's no gas in the building for fireplaces, so we did one of those ethanol units.
Oh, nice.
And I have to say, we love it. We use it all the time. It's so
Yeah.
fabulous. And it truly heats up the space. And then it's just a shelf for books because they're
Oh,
everywhere. And then again,
yes.
more artwork
Right.
and beautiful piece from
Beautiful.
Australia, artist named Minnie Prell. She painted it in her late 80s. So it's pretty amazing when you think of how old she was and how young and spirited the piece is, but it's very typical to have original art. And
Wow.
then another favorite is the Smashed Glass series by Mikhail Sabotsky, pardon me, from South Africa. And so it's much better in person. It's really hard to get a sense of it, but pretty
Wow.
fabulous piece.
Beautiful.
And I'll do a
And
big spin back around. Sorry, go on.
I also really love how you have the TV balanced there. So I know everybody, like TVs are so tricky in a room, but with the way
Yes.
the art is positioned around it, it actually, feels like it's meant to be there.
Yeah, we always try to do that with clients. If we've got a TV and they've got art, we try to create a collage around it so it feels a little bit more part of the room. I
Yeah, I
mean, I
love
know
that.
everybody sort of tries to either hide them, but they do have these sort of what they call the art TV now that are
Yeah,
framed and you can put things on, which are, still works.
yeah,
But the old TV is still there. It's a good solution.
sure, for sure.
And then just spin around. I guess I can sort of wander over to the dining room and then we can go back into the kitchen. But the dining room again has more artwork hung on cables, and it's another artist from Australia, which we found several artists there as continuing theme. Her name's Jo Davenport, but it has almost a chinoiserie kind of feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it basically ties in because we've got this lovely Thai Buddha that sort of sets a sense of calm or zen when we come into the house, but she's a favorite.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, and so then if we just wander back towards the kitchen, big spin around, like I said, not a big house.
Yeah.
But when, but when we got the place, there was basically a guest bathroom and a small ensuite.
Okay.
And we decided to delete the guest bathroom and make the ensuite into a much bigger ensuite, and then enlarge the kitchen to the kitchen you see now.
Lovely.
So
Wow.
we both like to entertain and cook, and so this is probably the biggest kitchen in the building now, which we're very proud of.
Yes, no
And then
kidding.
when we renovated, we basically just did everything in the same bleached oak paneling. That's the entry door, so it's a very small entry hall.
Okay.
And as you can see, we've expanded it with mirror just to give a sense of illusion. The
Yeah.
door has now got a beautiful broken header because it just busted the other day, so it's
Oh
chance
no.
to redo the door.
Okay.
So we're going to come up with a new door design to make it way more interesting. So it's an opportunity.
Yeah,
And then you
sure.
can see all the closets and cabinetry. Everything is basically hidden in the millwork. And then we just did the brushed bronze panels for the upper cabinets over the cooktop and just concealing where the hood fan is, and then an additional wall oven just sort of at the end of the kitchen.
Oh, that's great. I love the brushed bronze. That's lovely.
It just adds a nice kind of warm sort of glow to the space.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically then it just wanders. We've got, now you can see me, hello. We did basically a giant mirror at the end of the corridor just to expand basically the hall of panels, because each one of the panels sort of opens either to a laundry room, the utility room, or a bathroom.
Huh.
And then we also just even hung the artwork like on the door so you can see when it opens up.
Oh yeah.
The arch
Again.
just on security hits, and then this is the laundry there. And then as I wander through, then I can basically, this is the washroom in here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we wanted it to sort of be the powder room and the bathroom. So we added the black glass to give that bit of glamour and depth to the space.
Yeah.
And then as we've talked, the guilty pleasure of being on first dibs, we bought the 17th century mirror from a really fabulous shop in London called Guinevere. And so it's basically the jewelry in the room. Everybody gets the wow factor when they walk into that bathroom.
Yeah.
And the vanity was existing with the original building. We just redid the facing of all the cabinets and then put in that medicine chest along the whole length of it to keep more storage. In one bedroom, it's all about storage.
100%. Right. Yeah. That's smart.
Yeah, and then the bath, the shower, and that was existing with the original building, so we didn't change it. It's really just about the wood and the mirror, which is the big sort of the wow factor.
Yeah.
And then the fun part is sort of, as I had said, is the mirror at the end is actually movable and it opens to the bedroom.
Oh, wow. Huh.
So it's just like, it's beautifully counterbalanced and it just opens up and unfolds. So most of the time it's open, but you know, for the big reveal when we have guests, it's always fun. Or if one of us actually needs privacy, if somebody wants to be alone, it gives you privacy.
Yeah, sure.
And then into the bedroom.
Yeah. Oh, and I love that headboard. So is that a leather?
Yes, it's like a patent leather headboard. And then black lacquered nightstands with sort of limestone tops and way too much stuff because I can't stop buying things. So, but the beauty is it's all from travel. It's all memory pieces. I always encourage people to do it because it's the best way to get stuff. You can always buy in stores, but so much better if it's travel and there's a story behind everything.
Yeah, sure.
And then I guess we look through that just out to the terrace. And then there's beautiful sort of African Dinka sculpture that we got in London years ago that just kind of commands over the bedroom. And a vintage baker chair that I picked up somewhere, I can't even remember. And then we did more bookshelves. So again, sort of lit from the top and then just illuminating and then storage below and way too many books and things.
Yeah, and more little art moments too. I can see
Exactly. Sculptures from trips to South Africa, vases from China. It's like travel's the best.
Yeah.
And then the last part of the renovation, which I'm sticking on this door, but I'll open it, is the walk-in closet. And so mirrored at the end, and that was part of the renovation as we added about another 5 feet to the closet when we did the renovation. So it was necessary. 2 people, lots of boots, lots of clothes. So anyway.
2 stylish guys need a decent closet.
Well, we try.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's kind of it.
That's
you know, as
lovely.
I said, it's small. It's just like it's 1,000 square feet.
Yeah.
And it's lots of storage.
Yeah, and I can see like the little bits of evolution you've done over time. I recall when this space was in Western Living, but I can see that you, I mean, I guess the life of a designer, you continue to evolve things over time as well.
Oh, without question. So that's half the fun of it. We never sit still. I don't think any of us do. It's always, what else can we add? How can I change that?
Yeah.
Oh, what about that pillow? So it's always an evolution. So
Great.
Still have to get it photographed. So eventually we'll get it done and then we'll get published again. We'll make
Okay.
enough changes to make it relevant.
Right. Yes. Perfect. Okay. Amazing. If you want to flip the
I
phone
can- I was
around.
going to say, yeah, I just realized, I think we've looked at the room long enough. Sorry.
Yeah, then we
There
can
we go.
say everyone can see you one last time before we say our goodbyes.
Yes.
But yeah, thanks again for joining us. It was a wonderful tour.
Well, that was fabulous. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for your patience.
Yeah, it's always nice to see you. Enjoy the rest
Okay.
of your gorgeous sunny day too.
You too. I'm going to enjoy it.
Okay.
Okay. Take care, my
Thanks,
dear.
Mitchell. Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.